Welcome to another edition of Who We Are podcast. This is Joel Yelton, your host, and today we are going to take a tour of a private firefighters museum with my long time buddy Abel. Abel has been doing paint and body his whole life, and he's dedicated his craft to restoring all of these historical pieces at this fire museum. So before we get into it, I would like to say thank you to Abel and thank you to Mr. Edmond of Edmonds Insurance in Waller, Texas, for letting us come out and look at this place. Mr. Edmond and Abel have both, really put in a lot of passion and dedication to this project, and I'm sure you'll agree as we walk through and you see just, so many aspects that you probably didn't know about, and so much history, and just the personalities that are in there and that have used all of this stuff to help other people and better people's lives. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll see you on the flip side. Thanks.
Pass it out in a brigade.
Yeah.
So if you were to take these here were coned, so it'd be like, man, you couldn't take them home. You're like, well, what do we need them for?
Yeah.
Feed the animals. You gotta put feed in them.
I got another one hang too.
I saw that when we bought. Mr. Evans, you don't mind talking about your ancestry here?
No, my son is seventh generation.
So,
He's,
so
he's
Joe,
captain at Station 103 in what was that? Keywood. See, we got a fire net to jump into. It takes 12 men to operate, no less. That's why they quit using it, because it's hard to get 12 men at a fire location when they don't have enough manpower. And there's how you carry them out there for alive and carry them to the hospital. It's behind the chalkboard. I don't know if you see it or not.
Oh, okay, I do, yeah.
this is the 5th generation, Mr. Evans?
So Anthony, seventh generation. I was the third, fourth, fifth.
You see that man with the tilted hat by that pit bull?
Mm-hmm.
The one, two with the tilted hat? That's Mr. Evans' daddy.
Oh, wow.
He joined the fire department at 15 years old.
Wow. What, do you know what year that was?
No, 19 something, roughly. They let him in because he needed manpower. My uncle was in the fire department, Uncle Claude.
And that's the one here where he burnt up in the ladder, where he,
The ladder broke with him and killed him.
And then Mr. Evans' daddy. But then him, and then the son.
Daddy died when North Line Shopping City caved in. He was the chief, and they carried him to the hospital in a chief car, and he died 2 days later. And all these helmets are just different. Different firefighters. Mine's up there, Daddy's up there, and Anthony's up there.
Yeah.
Unless you needed it for
My
county.
daddy's first job was a tinderman. And he tended the fires in all the fire extinguishers, the fire trucks. They were wooden fire trucks, steamers, what they were
Oh,
called.
wow.
Yeah.
And that's how they operated them from a fire. 15 years old, and stay up all night long and make sure there's a fire in every one of the fire trucks. The tinderman
Wow.
at 15 years old.
Jake's grandpa's, his stuff is over there too.
Oh, cool.
So, but his is more album. We haven't did pictures of him,
Yeah.
I think. Well, we should, make big pictures of him. That was the chief of them all. But his pictures, Gail just gave us his pictures and that. We put them in albums. You ain't seen him like this, have you?
No, yeah, I had no idea it was this.
Now you know where I hide out.
Yeah.
Where I've been hiding all these years. And
You have these were the
Carbon, carbon tetrachloride.
carbon
Very, very dangerous nowadays. They found it, that's one of the best fire extinguishers, but they find out now just breathing it or inhaling it, or getting it on your hands, it can kill you.
Oh.
It attacks your vital organs.
What it does is there's a sensor up here, and they go off. One of these, the temperature sensor.
Oh, yeah.
They're set like in different rooms.
Just when the fire hits it and melts it down, it'll come down on the fire and make the fire go out. They're good extinguishers.
We had 3 up here hung, and the temperature let them off, broke them because of the heat of the building.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta be careful with them.
Go ahead and do what you need to do.
Let's start off, man. What's your name?
Abel Deloera.
How long have we known each other?
Oh man, all our lives.
A minute,
All our
huh?
lives.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, so where are we?
We're over here at the Edmonds Firehouse Museum, just the corner of Waller County line. Just here, a little brief history of how everything worked, everything was made, and the history of it. We'll start off by showing y'all one of our projects that we've done.
And so what do you specifically do here?
I do everything from curating to restoring, bodywork, paint, restoration, lamps, anything that we need to do to chop it up.
Yeah.
There's our shop. Working on this Jeep Willis.
You know, I have 2 of those I'm trying to throw away. Yeah, at the property. They're pretty rough, but a lot of it's there body-wise.
Jeep Willis.
Yeah.
It was green, painted red. We're trying to keep everything up to date.
What's the matter?
A lot of fiberglass works on the
Yeah.
side. Pretty bad, but I mean that's just the nostalgic of it.
Yeah.
In '46, these Jeeps had a logo right here. That was an authentic
Oh
Jeep
yeah.
logo.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, so I think mine's from the 50s. It's a Willis.
It's still Willis.
Yeah.
But on the doors, every doors, the fenders were over here. All of them were pretty bad off. I've been working these this week.
Yeah, these
All
are.
this rust was from just being left outside.
Yeah.
All this structure here has to be straightened out with that, so it would be more stronger on flexibility. And we do everything from cutting our wheels to.
Hey guys, I cut the audio out right here because the wind noise was so bad. So if you just wait, it's probably a minute. It'll be back to normal. And I apologize for the inconvenience. Thanks. You know, maybe we could do a section right here about how they found this helmet. And it's proof that there was a race of giants in the past. Also, I don't know why there's so much feedback on this mic. Regular noise will be back in just a minute. Beware the giant firefighters. That's a big ass hat. Oh yeah, I love pedal cars.
These here are pedal cars, and these will get refurbished stickers, the authentic stickers, and the wheels, steering wheels, and everything. We have everything in our inventory room. Our inventory's in there. Our metal room, our sandblaster.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since I was 15 and a half years old.
46 now? 40, 44, 45.
I've been doing this 25 years.
And you got into this through, I mean, you were doing paint and body with Max. How did you get over here?
He just picked me up one day off the street, so if I needed a job, I said, man, let's do it.
Isn't that crazy?
He started me off real cheap, and here we restore license plates, also all Texas license plates. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of stuff is made from license plates from the history of Kansas, license plates, bottle cap art. We do a lot of bottle cap art with bottle caps. So we collect everything from that we can put our hands on. Nostalgic. Here's all the license plates from Alabama. 1942 was when they were born. Alaska was really never found. numbers.
So you painted all these?
All these we have restored every one of them, yes. He hand paints them, and then I just clear coat them and do
Yeah.
the colors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no telling, we just, every day we try to about do 20 a week.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we do, it's our, but here you have all the history of Texas license plates,
Yeah, yeah.
1927.
Goes on to 1929, 1930, 32s, 33s, 34, 35s. Here we're just missing one that we don't have, but we're trying to get it.
1940, 1941, 42 was rare because of the war.
Yeah, yeah,
And so we got a little sticker. Look at the front, you'll see the little tags.
yeah.
Because of the scarce of the metal. 1946, 49. Also, a lot of people remember 1968, the Hemisphere came to Texas. So the plates, those are all car plates up to 72, 73, and the 80s. In the 80s, you had that little sticker.
Yeah, I remember the stickers.
And if you turn this way, you'll see the stickers are going to be right here. That's stickers that provided.
Oh, yeah.
And the tags of the war. They wouldn't give you a plate; they'd give you a sticker, a tag, so you could.
Oh, less metal usage.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And here it talks about on this history here. Here it talks about these license plates were found in 1889. The first one man who had it was Texas Colonel E.H.R. Green of Terrell was the first temporized Texas countryside license plates. A lot of people made theirs. A company offered porcelain ones, and later you could register yours.
Huh.
So a little bit off the subject.
No, that's cool.
And then here's Houston's first. Here's Houston's light truck. Telescopically, these lights would go up during.
Oh, okay.
They would go up with hydraulic fluid, to light up a multi-structure fire. And
Okay.
This truck had to be taken every afternoon to the fire so they could light up the scene.
Wow, that's some crazy
Big
bulbs on that.
So this one runs and everything. We're just trying to get it tweaked out or
Yeah.
get it right so we could drive it to the shows. The taxpayers here just bought this, and just most of it was just left. They didn't want it no more. They had new technology, new lights, and just left
Yeah.
it behind, and we got it.
Yeah.
And we restored all this. And over here are almost each 100-year-old plates. Some of the first plates ever made.
I recognize the
The Jeep.
Willis, yeah.
Yep, just a Jeep. Willis waiting on me to slap it on. And
Now, we had that one that we got from Joseph's uncle with a blown rod on it. We bought it for $100. And
Right.
we drove it from Hempstead back to Deerwood,
oh, wow.
stuck in four-wheel high, hidden everything we could hit on the way home.
Wow.
And it finally overheated, but when we took the motor apart, there was no rod. It had like a 4-inch hole in the cylinder wall.
Just gave up this time.
But it kept going. It just, finally overheated, but strong little motor.
Yeah, this one here, we just gotta.
So, is this, okay, this one has brakes. The one I have, it's only got the brakes on the drive shaft.
Okay, I see. But this one here, man, is just ready to put together. Probably here also that those plates go. Texas, the very first plate. California. A lot of literature on the motors. Sometimes we have to get into them.
Yeah.
Find the firing orders. Why this? Why that? Troubleshooting. This poster here is some of the cars made over
Oh, wow,
years.
yeah.
different kind of cars. Sometimes you ain't even heard of them.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean,
You probably-
DeSoto I've heard of, but not DeSoto. DeTamble, Detroit, Facto, Great
Some-
Arrow.
Some only made 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
They
Wow.
could afford.
That's real cool.
This is what I do every day, man. This is one of the things I gotta put in the museum.
Oh, okay. So what is this?
That's a warehouse fire extinguisher that they would use to pull if there's a fire.
Like
Instead of pulling the
inside?
hose, yeah,
Yeah.
it was dry chemical. They would use it already charged and just pull it to the scene of the fire. instead of having to use water and destroy everything in the warehouse.
So this is compressed air,
Compressed air.
and then
yes,
that
yes.
accelerates the
Right. It's
the powder.
like a baking soda powder in air.
Got you. That's real cool.
So now you know where I hang out, what I do. This is a 1956 Buick Special.
Oh wow.
Each fire chief would drive one of these. It was chauffeur.
Oh, that's cool.
So this one here, every fire chief would get to the scene and pull up gangster style
Yeah.
and tell the men what to
OG.
do, what to do. And these are all the plates of Texas, also no more.
Did you do restoration on this?
I did this one, 2001. One of the ones I did for one of the first ones I did for him. Never only had 5,000 miles on it, brand new.
Wow.
Every piece on it's brand new. 56 Buick Special. It was called the bastard car because it just meant they made some, but they 56 and 57 or 55 were so close. So red and white. Ain't nothing here.
That's kind of cool how there's a middle bar,
You right?
you know? Like, I mean, that was a lot of trouble to go to.
The dog's in there. Come on.
Okay.
Go.
All right, where are we going?
We're gonna go to another room.
Hey, tell me about this real quick. I mean, I can recognize what it is.
Sharpening tool they use.
Yeah. Wow.
You would sit there and you would just sit there and crank it.
Yeah, a
Put your
treadle.
blade, yes. Put your blade on there and start sharpening.
Man, that is,
Nostalgic.
yeah, that's intense. Oh, okay, so these are more of those portable, yeah.
This here call was to the Houston Fire Department, and the women's were in charge here of giving coffee to the firemen. Here's a picture of them.
Oh, okay, so like if they were going to be there for a while or something.
Right. That was their rehab truck, what they call it now, or cookie truck, as some say, but it's called rehab, the rehab vehicle for them in their time. The ladies auxiliary was a professional. They were dedicated to the locals of 341, and the mayor was all for it. The car was abandoned at a fire station,
Oh, yeah, so
Here's
this
what it
is
looks like.
yeah.
and then it was brought to us, and we totally restored it. I did this one. It took me about half a year to do this one. The tea urns come out.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's for you to give them coffee.
Yeah.
To pour coffee in for the firemen and stuff. And
Wow.
so instead of spilling inside. You can open it here.
Man, that's
This whole
cool.
thing comes out.
Oh, that's slick.
Sit there, you ain't gotta spill nothing in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Inside of cabinets, you put groceries in, take whatever you need to put in there.
And it's got a fire extinguisher. Is that what that is?
That is, it's
Yeah.
a little.
That's cool.
Donated by Nap Chevrolet and those are all different type of nozzles used in the fire department. Different streams, bore streams, straight streams.
There's so much.
So much to see. This one here, fire truck 1925 TT. It was using a lot of
Oh, yeah, look like commercial.
1925. 3 years shy of 100 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
And all your pump cans up here were all brass, polished. A lot of times I didn't keep them that clean.
So you hand pump it?
Yes, hand
Okay.
pump it.
So it's like a garden sprayer almost, but it's got,
Almost, yes.
is it just water in it?
Water. Well, you can put some water. Some came with the quick chem, with the chemical already in them.
Okay.
Like these two were 1944 ones we used in the war. See what
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do see it.
we used in the war. And then we can come on this way to this room. This is the 1800s room.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, this one here came from Carmine. It was called a piano style fire truck. People would pull on both sides and the water would build a draft. The water would either spray or it would draft out of the lakes. That's the Carmine in the picture's oldest photo of the Carmine volunteer fire department, 1890s.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the buckets, collapsible fire buckets.
So they would drag a hose to like a water source and then pump it?
Right.
Okay.
To a lake or
Yeah, whatever
water
was.
cisterns.
Gotcha.
This is Merkel of the 1800s. This is mostly from Europe. Was found in Gonzales. Most of this one here came from
Yeah.
up in Europe area. Could be used for drafting and or pumping. The steamer bell here was found in your steamer, and the driver had to use his foot to sound the bell. Mostly would be placed underneath this steamer on the bottom.
Okay, so when you say steamer, what's, this
They
a
would-
pressurized tank or?
Yeah, they would put fire. They would put wood.
Okay, so this is what Mr. Edmonds was talking about with the
Right.
tender.
Right.
So what does the steam do? Like, how does that work? What's it?
It would cause it to, at a boiling point, it would be so hot that it would boil.
Oh, so you've got pressure
Right,
to,
pressure to spray out of.
gotcha.
And it was horse driven
Wow.
by horses.
Yeah, literal wagon wheels.
Literal wagon wheels.
That's crazy.
We can walk up to this other room, Joe.
All right.
Here. And then here's some more fire extinguishers. 1926 fire shuttle used to transport the firemen
Oh,
in case of a fire. And if we needed manpower, we could get in and go.
yeah.
Uh,
All right, kids, this is a little before lane assist and airbags and seat belts and
no airbags here.
yeah. It's called
Firehouse Museum.
just pay attention when you're driving.
And this one over here to your right is going to be the pull carts used by the men in the metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
They would pull them up and down the roads, brick road, rough road, just to get water to the fire from the source.
Yeah.
Fire trucks did not exist. This is all they had. Thomas Edison, Chief Elkhart.
That's cool.
REO Speedwagon.
And you know, it was only in a couple of years ago that I learned that REO Speedway, that it was a car company.
It was a car company, yes. REO Speedwagon. R was E and the O. The R was a man. His name was Ransom Eli Olds.
Ah,
Olds, and then later on, he had a dream to start a car company, and he did, along with Henry Ford. And then later on, he merged with General Motors, and they called it the Oldsmobile.
oh, wow. Had no idea.
The Oldsmobile.
Chain driven.
Chain driven.
Wow. That's cool.
But this was here as a 26, and there's 3 more to see over here. Made by Mr. Oldsmobile himself, by his people, plant.
Yeah.
And then up here's all the 100 stations of Houston.
Oh,
pictures.
okay.
All the fire stations in Houston area. 105.
Do you remember which one Jake's dad worked at?
Mr. Jake was in charge of the whole Houston. He was the boss of all these.
And what about Ricky Cook?
Ricky Cook, I don't know what station he was at towards the end.
I know. I felt like if I could look at all of these, I could probably recognize it. But man, it's been
105 stations. There's the 105th one right
Wow.
here. And I think that one's in Kingwood.
that's crazy.
105 stations. All the patches in Houston, they represent, each territory represents something.
Huh.
Always dominating other stations of who's the best.
Yeah.
Here you can see the Eagles.
Yeah.
Here you can see,
The Mighty Mouse.
right. Here a lot of people represented Richmond, the Richmond Vikings, Lucky 13,
Brays Heights Hellfighters.
just different patches up in Broadway. Of course, Broadway knows
Yeah.
the theater. I mean, they're all down to see who's the best, who's the cleanest, who's the sharpest. But that's what their mascot is. We can walk this way, Joe. This is all memorabilia stuff from different people who worked in their helmets. Here's Jake's grandpa's helmet, original helmet.
Now it's interesting. Which one?
This one right here.
Oh, I see it. Yep.
That's Jake's grandpa's. That was the chief of Houston.
Oh, there you go. Hmm.
Yep, that was the boss. He was the overall boss. He did not
Yeah.
have a station. His station was the whole city. He was the boss. A lot of pictures on his, what he did, what
Yeah.
he bought, his promotions. Everything was given to us in those albums.
That's cool.
So all his memories are here. They're never going to be lost.
Yeah.
Just different stuff, different brass, World War siren, World War II siren. It was on the truck.
Yeah. Like
Tank
a
siren.
air raid siren.
Right.
Flathead 6.
Flathead 6 REO Speedwagon.
Oh, so this is another one.
Yes, 1934.
Oh, yeah,
Front
you can see
pumps, commercial,
Oh, so is this engine-driven pump
Yes.
or? Okay.
engine driven.
Wow.
And here, Joe, you see the pedal cars that have been redone.
Yeah.
These are the ones that have been restored. We try to get one of each one to represent each era
Yeah.
and the time that it was built, 1930.
Yeah.
And then here, this one here, a little more stylish in the 60s.
Yeah.
And then the 70s, they brought them more rounder. A lot of helmets up here from different departments, captains, fire chiefs. It never ends. This one here is the one that's going to go to the Mitchell Woods Pavilion to get REO Speedwagon's autograph.
Oh,
The
cool.
rock band.
Yeah. I see it right here.
Yeah, so hopefully we could get it when they come to the Mitchell Woods.
Yeah.
And this one here came from Brookshire, right by your house.
Okay.
Was found, but it belonged to a town, Thrall, Texas, near the side of College Station. That was their first fire truck, but it was later on picked up by some people and probably traveled many of places.
Yeah. Where's Thrall?
Thrall's in the other side of, I guess right beside Taylor, Texas, and Rockdale.
Okay.
Here are different helmets from Europe.
Oh yeah.
You can see the different
Wow, that one's crazy looking.
Nazi one here from Germans,
Huh.
the German fire helmets. And then here's a memorial of the firemen who served and died in the line of duty in the Houston Fire Department.
Wow. Yeah.
Different people here,
Dude, 1868 to 1899.
different people. It talks about what happened to them. Like it says, Mag died while hooking up a hose line to a fire hydrant during a house fire at 2704 Congress Avenue near Dowling Street. Edgerton was laying a hose line and a hose couple hung up in the hose bed.
Oh God.
It says Smith first entered the Houston Fire Department in 1908 and resigned in 1913. He was rehired in 1920 into his continuous deaths of service. It's a little history of different people,
Yeah.
what they've done. This was one of Mr. Edmonds' ancestors. He died of a broken ladder, born in 1894, Mississippi. Died August 1926, age of 32. Captain Edmonds, seasoned veteran, had his crew drilling on a ladder 185-foot aerial. The exercise consisted of crew climbing the ladder and descending The backside as Captain Edmonds reached the top, the ladder began swinging. The wind had cracked below him and landed on the power lines.
Oh,
and
Lord.
cars. At Preston, Captain Edmonds was taken to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries.
Man.
Just different eras of firemen dying. This here man here died riding in the back of the fire truck. That was the last time that an FPA decided to let them ride, like in the movies, when he fell off the fire truck. Then
Oh,
nobody
like
did.
hanging on the back.
Right.
Okay.
There was nobody else. Nobody else could do it. It says the day of the death, Robert Reyes was assigned to work at a shift at Firehouse 15 Engine 50, responded to a car fire on Interstate 45. Before the crew arrived at the scene, Robert fell to his death from the jump seat of Engine 15.
Man.
So that's when they took off. It said no more.
Dudes never know.
Never know.
I mean, we're
This
all.
boy here was from Brookshire. He died. His first fire, he died at the Fiesta Ballroom by Work Road at the Fiesta store, and he was announced dead. I mean, the first fire, first time he died.
That's.
First time. And this woman, this girl here died the 13th. She died, he died, all in the same fire. She had just entered the fire academy. She died at 24. And
Man.
this is just different people, uniform shadow boxes. 9/11 memorial dedicated to 9/11. 343 firemen died. And you can see the rubble of the
Yeah.
firemen behind there. These newspapers are actual documents from the Houston Post of what happened in 9/11. And the books and videos of what CBS News, Dan Rather saw, all the memorial of them. Twin Towers, when they were in existence. And different sirens, lights. And on this flag is the honor of all the people who died in the terrorist attack.
Yeah.
From the people who were on the airplane. First numbered was airplane flight number 11.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was.
Yes. These are all the people on board the plane. And it goes on to talk about UA flight
Yeah.
175, all the people who died on that second plane. To the ones that were,
In the buildings.
yes.
Man.
Another pedal cart. It's a finished one. I don't know why we hadn't put it up there in a room.
So chain driven axle.
This is a 1916, 1917.
Is it a gas engine?
Yes, it is. It's a
Okay.
gas engine.
Man, I gotta get in there and look.
I'll open the motor for you.
Wow. That's crazy. Look at the flywheel.
Here's your look of the butter.
All right.
Inside, all that's been restored. 4-cylinder. Runs off of coil.
So are those it's like the push rods? It's an overhead valve?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Starter, brass, been polished, carburetor.
Yeah.
It's all nostalgic. This is a 1917 aerial fire truck. So the plaques are there.
Well, it had to be
Describes-
hard to turn this thing.
They had the back tillerman back to driving.
Oh, of course. Of course.
This was given the mayor vouched for the city to have it because they didn't have nothing, but he did it only that his son would be honored in the war, and this was his son, the diary of Leland McGraves McCullum. Only that he would be honored with his name on it. We'll go back here. I see from here, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
That he would be honored in case he didn't come back from war, that his legacy would be remembered. He was
Yeah.
a pilot, World War pilot, and these are his journals, talks about him, what
Wow.
he did daily. And just knowing that this author came and wrote about it and told him that It could never, it was gonna be stationed here at home and never to be moved. So every year they come, the people come and they celebrate the honor of him.
Yeah.
They come see it before his death. All this has been restored. I did every ladder. There's over 700 feet inside and out. It pops up on a spring load hydraulic to reach multi-stories.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can kind of see the gearing for the trunnion.
All the boards at the bottom have been redone. All the tools were carried. That's how they came from America La France, the company that built these. We try to put everything back how it came with the pinstripes. Everything was designed.
Oh,
ladders
yeah.
Still date to the 1890s. They were made. Combination ladder companies. You see this one, Joe, right here? There's a 300 Fountain Street, Providence, Rhode Island.
Huh. 1890.
A lot of history.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Still preserved. I mean, it barely fit in here. Look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barely fit in here. This one here is a parade truck made with a lawnmower motor, lawnmower tires,
Yeah.
and this one here is mostly used in the parades for the kids.
Now, you think little Jakey was driving this around at the ranch?
Grandpa. I take chauffeur's grandpa around. This ladder here is a ladder from France.
I was just looking at that.
State ladder, it cools up.
Yeah.
It cools up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great design.
Yeah, it is. Real thin metal.
Yeah.
Strong as can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a vertical bearing.
Vertical bearing. 1954 Mack fire truck. This
Convertible.
here, convertible.
Wow.
Houston, it was at Houston 33's fire station. All the gauges and everything been preserved, put back together, bolts, hard suctions, run and drive. This is one of our parade trucks that goes out. Goes out to service if it's needed for just carrying people,
Yeah.
parades, maybe taking the rodeo, taking the Fair Queen or the 4-H kids. But 1954. All the bells up here, the different fire stations. There's still a bell with a dog chain on it, where I guess they left the dog chain on it behind. Different pump cans used in restaurants. These are the spokes, Joe, that were used, that were all deteriorated, and they've been redone on the spoke back here in the wheel.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
That's the old look.
Wow.
It was in a barn, deteriorating, getting wet.
Yeah.
So we had to keep them to make our blocks the same,
Yeah.
to put them back together.
Oh, I could see. Yeah,
Yeah.
now I see how they did it. It's like
Right.
overlay.
And no trees
Wow.
with knots. You cannot get a tree with knot because it would weaken it.
Yeah.
Had to be straight wood.
What a trip.
All different stuff, miners stuff, fire department miner stuff from the miners. The SCBA's, Scott Air Packs up here. And then
Oh, what's
that's the World War Fire Department masks. It looked like a World War II gas mask.
it's crazy.
But that's what they use in the fire department. Looks like it. Welding blankets.
Fire
Fire
blanket.
blankets. The ejector fans that would hung on the door so the smoke would ventilate.
Okay.
Get the smoke out. Should be two of them. Here's the other one. Another fire blanket. Different nozzles, bores, streams. City of Houston in the 70s. Aerial picture.
Man. Yeah, so much history.
So much, and it keeps going. We can come in here, Joe, in this room. This fire truck came from, this is a Seagraves grill. This is a 1928 picture. This is when I first started
Ah.
putting it together.
That's cool.
That's one of the first ones, the third one I built.
When was it? What year was that?
That was 2008. 2008. That's our funeral truck. We'll show it to you in a minute. That's the one we use to transport. If we need a funeral, it's multi-story, game well. The lights light up to tell you what floor.
Oh.
So it fire up here. Ding, ding.
Yeah, so they knew where to go.
Yes.
I would have never thought about like having to know
Right,
that.
light bulbs. Different lanterns from Beats. Different fire surfer.
What's the anti-fire pistol?
That's when you would throw it, and it would release a chemical into the fire.
Oh, okay. So kind of drift over it.
Right. And then just different toys,
Yeah.
ladder toys. Another car. Auto car from New Mexico.
Auto car.
Auto car, yes. It was
Never heard of one.
It was a company that made them. They do exist on the movie Sylvester Stallone when he's arm wrestling. He's driving an 18-wheeler with the kid. and he's
Yeah,
driving-
yeah.
He has the auto car.
Over the top?
Over the top. He's driving the auto car 18-wheeler. And it was funny because, man, I was like, I know what that is.
That's cool.
This one we got it started. We just got to make sure we got brakes.
Yeah.
We finally got it started. It hasn't been started over 40 years.
Wow.
Hopefully, we're lucky we even got pressure. And
Man, I mean, look at the tires, dude. Like,
yeah, and they got inner tubes. That's why they're holding up.
that's insane.
Yeah, the inside. We've been trying to
Yeah,
fix
still
this.
with the wood support, you know. I mean, like everything in the 30s.
This is a 1928 American LaFrance. This is the funeral truck that transports in case we need it for the memorials for the firemen.
Okay.
This came from Abbeville, Louisiana. Was found in Carmine in pieces, and we put it together. Runs and drives, ready for service for anything we need to do. And different statues, firemen's, hand painted.
Yeah.
They don't come like that from Fraser's.
American LaFrance.
France.
What is the, is it a gauge on top?
That is a motor meter. Every time the evaporation of the heat gets hot, it rises up and you can see a thermometer. It'll tell you
Oh.
because of the evaporation.
Yeah.
The motor meter.
Wow.
Rotator light, everybody had one.
Wow.
This was something that everybody had to have to represent, hey, I'm coming. And then over here you got a couple pictures of Houston Texans at a funeral. Firemen, when there's two girls that died,
Yeah.
they came out to pay respects to the firemen.
Yeah.
It was caught. So that's all your pump cans. Your pump cans up here were used bag paps.
Oh,
Put it in your
man.
back.
Yeah.
Carry, to whatever you need to do. Each fire truck had the different tools. Town of Marlowe, there's a fire trucks that were back there. We got them, just put them up there because we can't carry them. It's too much to carry. Fire inspection, courtesy signs. Those signs were, Houston made them. So they would give them to people. That it's a courtesy. Hey, we got to check your stuff out. We don't want you to.
Oh, okay.
Fire.
Okay.
As a courtesy, hey, the Pompier ladder also dates back to the 1800s, early 1900s, was used. That's all they had as a ladder. They would put it over one section and climb it. It would be careful, don't fall. And then grab it and then just.
Yeah, have you seen they do competitions
Right.
where they run with the ladders and hook it, and I mean, they get up like the side of a 5-story building in seconds.
We can go outside, Joe, and look at the big helmet.
Yeah, let's do that. Man, this has been like a lifelong passion for him
That's long.
and for you.
Been here all my life, know all about it. This is the Edmonds Firehouse Museum logo. This is the finished helmet.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
that's
here.
cool to see one
Hung it
done.
Up there, yes, and we painted it. Got to be protected. And clear coated it so the sun will never deteriorate it.
That's a lot of clear coat.
A lot of clear coat. Bought it by the gallons. A lot of it's been patched up. It's locked down, man. So that's a huge helmet.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna find that nowhere. Those beams are gonna go underneath it to support it a little bit better. You can
Okay.
tell where it's cracking already.
Yeah.
I left that crack there so it would give.
Yeah.
So that once these beams get put up, then We'd be a little more safer. A wind could take it down if it whirled in there.
Yeah.
It would shatter it.
Yeah.
So maybe those beams will help support it right now. Each engine 28, 26, 54 means the years of the ladders at here. Ladder 18, 103 years old. Engine 54, 34. Engine 26, shy of being 100
Yeah.
years old.
Close.
Close. Engine 28.
I
Which
mean,
represents stalls.
maybe we'll make it to 26.
Right? So that is the Edmonds Firehouse Museum.
Man, that's awesome.
Look at the wind thing up here, the fire ring.
Oh yeah. We call that a wind vane.
Wind vane.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen one working and up close.
This is pretty accurate now.
Yeah.
This brass, I mean, yeah, brass, a little thin copper brass.
Yeah. Yeah, this is oxidized.
Yeah. If you check the flags out, it'll pretty much go with the flags.
Yeah. Oh, there's two of them.
There's two of them. But those are, you can't polish those. They'll get away from you. They'll tear.
Yeah, real
It's very
thin.
light, yeah. But those have been up just since I've been here. I put those up, man, and to them spin a certain way.
And then no pressure. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you've got a lot of. How many years did you say you've been here?
I've been here 23 years.
23 years.
I was 20 when I came to work for him. 21.
Wow.
21 when I came to work for him. I built everything here, man.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew you were here and I knew what you did, but I didn't know it was this extensive.
You ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
You got nothing else to do. It's a dedication, man. This is a habit, man. It's a real bad habit, but
Yeah.
it's a good habit.
It's like all projects.
It's all projects.
Yeah. It eats up all your time and money.
That's it, man. You have no life, but you know what? At the end, you feel like, during the day, you might not got up and did something, what a wasted day. Oh, I didn't do this. But when you build cars, man, and do this, you have days where you did something good for that day.
Yeah.
You did something,
When
worthwhile.
And you know that not every day. I think that's one of the hardest things with doing anything is you don't see progress every day. Not noticeable progress.
You don't.
You know.
You don't see it. It just takes patience.
It takes a while.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
Patience. Rome wasn't built overnight.
I try to tell younger people about, be passionate about what you do. Have pride in what you do. I don't care if you're, working at McDonald's or whatever. I was laughing the other day because I was reminding a friend about, I got a cheeseburger from McDonald's and there was 2 pickles and they were on the outside. And you're like, man, I get it. You're working at McDonald's, you're not getting paid a lot, but that's your job. You chose to be there.
Right.
Have pride in that job.
Right. This is a self-discipline thing, man. It's a
Yes.
self-discipline where you sit there and you say, today I painted this helmet. What do I need to conquer before 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
I want to just leave this dry? And you say, oh, I don't care. You have to find the powerhouse in you to do stuff, to finish for that day. So tomorrow you take care of what today you can do for tomorrow. Because you know what? Time is just going by so fast.
We talk about that in class of, a kid wants to just sit there and then throw it together at the end and get a good grade. And I'm like, dude, you don't care.
Yeah.
It never comes out the way it should. And it seems like that's another issue is with the young people now. They're just checking off a list. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this done. It's not like, what did I learn from it? How did I grow from it? How can I improve? And I think that's part of this podcast is
Self-discipline.
Yeah, pride in what you do. I mean, it's your work, it's your legacy.
You have to understand, man, that you can't learn everything overnight. It took me years and years, and I had to follow my mentors and listen. And
they know because they know. You know, you don't go off and just freelance and do something.
Yeah.
You have to ask permission. Hey, do you want this? You know, what do you want out of it? But you know, it just takes a lot of practice and everything. Uh, when they bring me stuff to work on, I mean, I try to get it out as fast as I can because I have other stuff pending. But you know, all I can say, man, is you know, everything is here in this life. Everything is given to us. You know, we got to grab it and go for it. It's just like learning math. Once you get lost in math, you won't know the subjects, your promotion tests.
Yeah.
You start you get faded away, and you know, it's very important. You try to learn everything to the best of your ability.
And we're talking about, you know, restoring stuff. What's the importance of paying attention? Like, I always preach this, like, dude, you've got to pay attention to what you're doing.
You got to pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
Detail as of, you know, from the money you spend to the buying that piece of wood to sanding it down.
Or like you were saying, the wheels couldn't have knots and
They
the
couldn't
wood
have knots.
spokes.
You have to read on it. You know, if you're given a book on it, you read on it and stuff, and you just try to see. You know, even if you don't make it right, just try. Nothing hurts you to try. It's when you're scared that you do nothing.
It's better to fail and try
Right.
than to play it safe and not do anything
Right.
at all.
But detail is very important. Uh, it's very important. You have to know exactly each step.
What's the most rewarding part of doing this?
That my name will live. It's like writing a book. I plan to write a book about myself.
Yeah.
You know, and write a book of auto collision restoring.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll follow. Somebody can pick it up or, you know, read it. Just
Yeah. And so
everything's my signature here. From running at parades to car shows. If that car pulls up smoking or that thing pulls up smoking, I didn't do my job. That's, you know, getting the valve set right.
yeah.
To the spark plugs being open right, to the gap, to the points. You know, everything has to be running perfectly, and that's when my pride has to be shown.
I like that you said your signature, because I'm gonna have to steal that one. Because it is.
That's my signature on it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I don't ever want to do anything sloppy for nobody. People work hard for their money and they want something to be neat. You got to understand, man, that people are looking for just, they want to have something nice in
Yeah.
life. Whether it be a car, whether it be a show car, whether it be a junker, they just want something nice.
Yeah.
That they did in that time span of life.
Yeah.
And if you put out a product to them and don't help them, you don't ever know if them people were around. If you were given that position to help them people to enjoy that dream.
Yeah.
Your
To help
purpose
them
of
get
being
there.
here.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and then your name would be carried. Well, you know, this boy or this man or Abel did this.
Yeah.
And Abel did that. You know, but you take your time and you service each person with pride and joy and heart. You have to have a heart.
At school, we talk about integrity, and I think the kids hate hearing about it, but we're always like, you know, integrity means doing the right thing even when nobody's looking.
Right.
But it's like you don't do the right thing, and that paint starts bubbling.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
cheated yourself sanding. You didn't open the
it's-
pores on the paint.
Yeah.
You didn't. You skipped your sealer step, or you didn't have an epoxy.
Yeah.
You skipped your step, man, and you're gonna pay the price.
Yeah, and that your integrity shows in how you do your work and the quality of your work.
Right.
And it's if you don't have it, it's going to show up.
Very much so. Yes.
And speaking of, just so everybody knows, you do this, but you also do paint and body for the past
Right.
400 years.
Yes. 225 years.
Yeah.
I've always had a project on the side.
Yeah.
The guy who taught me always told me that a real body man had a car in the corner, and when he didn't have nothing to do, he would touch it because that was his Christmas money. Because come November, we got paid commission. We didn't get paid by the hour.
Gotcha.
So every year that we did that, we looked towards clocking in and clocking out. Whether it was a set price, sometimes we couldn't make it on the commission that we made. We had that job.
Yeah.
That we were going to pay that $1,000.
And so that goes back to, like, whoever taught you that was basically saying plan for the future.
Exactly. Plan for the future and don't waste your time.
Yeah, you don't
Don't count your nickels or pennies in one jar.
Yeah, you might be it might be feast today and
Right.
famine tomorrow.
So at times, man, I remember working many of Fridays during during school, you know, everybody partying, doing their thing. I'm over here trying to learn how to spray Bondo.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to learn how to, you know, why am I getting pinholes? Why am I not feathering? Why do I have this lump?
Yeah.
Why did that metal basketball on me?
Yeah.
Why? What did I do wrong? Only your experience will tell you. You can read all day, watch videos all day long about it, but you're not gonna.
Yeah, you got to get in there and do
You
it.
got to go and do it. Experience. And
Yeah.
I took a lot of notes. So, you know, when I would leave or having a situation, I'd be like, well, the reason that this basketball was here because I didn't do what, you know, I didn't do the theory of first in, last out. When
Yeah.
you pull that dent out, you know, the middle part, you put it out last. You pull the structure, you know, I was like, well, that's what I did. I pulled everything and got a basketball, but didn't suck in
Yeah.
first in, last out rule that I had. So that's a lot of collision I've done. I've done 1,000, maybe 15, 2,000 collision jobs in my lifetime.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
So back in the day when we were in high school, you worked at Pecan Tree.
I worked at Pecan Tree when I was 14. I got a job there.
That was with Tony, and Deanna.
Right. I got Tony that job.
And,
And I helped him get that job, but he was there, and my mom told me that, she says, I see that you're running the streets at night, you'll go get another job, and you need to pay me every month for you living at my house.
Yeah.
You're man enough to go run the streets, you're man enough to pay me. So I went down the street and got a job at a body shop,
yeah.
and I stayed there. My job was just to clean all the body man stuff.
Yeah.
That was my job every day.
That was at Max's?
After school, yes, at Max's.
Okay. So, you know, I always ask students how many of them have a job. And I had jobs off and on in high school, but how did working at Pecan Tree or did working at Max's, you know, even though you think at the time like, this job isn't going to be, you know, this isn't where I'm going to be forever, did that help you or did that set you up? Did you learn anything, you know?
Going to the restaurant at Pecan Tree, you know, I worked for Mr. Carr, and Mr. Carr was kind of hard on us, all of us, and he was the one that, you know, I didn't know, I was so mature that I didn't know, but when I went to work for Max, he told me, you have to do everything to the best.
Yeah.
You have to even sweep a floor and not leave crumbs behind because your duty was to sweep.
Yeah.
If you cannot do something to the best
Yes.
of your ability, first step first, then you cannot move on
Yes.
to the second step. So from there, I cleaned the dog mess, did the floors, and if I didn't have a trash can out, I was in trouble.
Yeah.
If I didn't know how to do the trash first, I couldn't move on to step two.
And that's hard for, you know, young people are kind of chomping at the bit and they want to be great and they want to follow their passion, and you're like, that's cool. But you got to start at the bottom. You got it.
No, ma'am, we're okay, thank you. No, ma'am, we're okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. But I like that of like, you don't think that sweeping the floor is important, but sweeping the floor is important.
Right.
It's important because I told you it's important, and it's important because somebody's got to sweep the floor.
Right. Whenever I worked at Jay's at Pecan Tree and had the job at Reflections, but whenever I would go to Reflections, I would be like, you know what, he's right. When I would go to Pecan Tree,
Yeah.
I'd have to move those trash cans and sweep that mess behind.
Yeah.
Sweep everything right.
Yeah.
You know, that I did know. Then when I go back to Max's, you know, he'd be like, well, you have to wash cars. Don't touch the paint guns. Don't even ask.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, if you cannot clean that window and that overspray, you
Yes.
won't know what I'm talking about.
I was at a Honda dealership a couple months ago, and one of the guys was cleaning the windows while the service tech was talking to me. And I was kind of like, why is this guy cleaning? And like, he was cleaning the hell out of the windows. And I was like, so, you know, I started talking to him. He's like, oh, well, like, this is part of what I do.
Right.
If I want to be in there, and I was like, that's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome that somebody told you that and that you're smart enough to accept
Right.
it and recognize it.
But, you know, my mentor, Max was one of my mentors, and he would tell me, he would say, we don't use razor blades on windows. You have to get plastic razors
Yeah.
and Windex newspaper or ammonia, whatever
Yeah,
you want to do, and you don't clean them in the sun. Every little detail helped me today to know how to troubleshoot something.
Yeah.
From cleaning the windows here at this fire station, from using newspapers to everything traveled with me, stuck with me.
Yeah, and it's weird how it jumps across like different
Right.
different spectrums. Let's see. Well, you know, okay, so how is this? How do you feel that preserving this is important to the world. I mean, obviously it's literal history.
It's just, man, you have to honor the people who fought, who would go out in the big city of Houston and put these fires out.
Yeah.
For the other people, for the kids, for the community, you know, what they did, how they did it. You know, it's something that will never be a lost legacy. You know, it's something that would always be here. It would always, you will always know, you know, that it's, those are real public servants.
Yeah.
That have heart, that not, oh, I'm just gonna get a job. You know, you have some that don't have heart, and
Yeah.
you have some that have heart and dedicated.
And I mean, that's with everything.
With everything.
You know, people say, well, all cops are bad. And you're like, no, not all cops are bad. And some people say, well, all cops are good. And you're like, no, that's as dumb of a thing to say
Right.
as well. There are some people that care more about their job than others, and that's just with everything.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's important to recognize public servants.
I mean, if you know that you're going to be a public servant, public service, not a servant.
Yeah.
But service, you know that you know that you're going to go service those people and not be mad and pulling them out of burning fire. Oh hell, I got to go back to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, you do that because you know you wanted that your heart, not because I wanted to be that as a kid, or
Yeah.
I'm making Houston Fire Department pension money, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna have $1 million in the bank. You don't do that, man. You go in there with your heart, because that right there shows good attitude, and good attitude brings you better in your ways to be better at what you do.
Yeah.
And if you do that, your captains, your chiefs will see that. You know, they're gonna promote you, man. They're gonna know that you're not mad with a bad attitude. Attitude is everything.
Yeah.
With everything. I don't care if you just out there cutting a tree and you're pissed off. You know what, man? You know what, man? Sometimes that tree has to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Sometimes that tree will pay your light bill, pay your gas bill.
Yeah.
And if you're mad, you're going to make your fellow colleagues mad at you and not hire you, or that owner hire you to cut that tree.
Yeah.
It starts with everything, man. It starts with your attitude.
Yeah. Don't burn bridges.
Don't burn that bridge, man, because that man ain't going to hire you to cut that tree no more.
Yeah.
You go in there, you do it to the best of your ability with a smile, no matter if you go home in ache and pain, but you did it, man, you did it, and you did it to the best of your ability with a good attitude.
And there's something, I don't know, special, satisfying, I don't know what the word is, but there's something that I like. I don't want to do it all the time, but I like the feeling when you can go home and fall asleep with your clothes on because you worked that hard, where you're like, oh, I earned today. Like,
yeah, you have that feeling, man. When I was doing this 20s and 30s, you know, I would stay late 2-3 in the morning working on stuff, and it wasn't so much I needed the money, I needed the practice.
Yeah.
But then you would go home and say, you know what, you'd be like, man, I got this, bitch, I conquered this.
Yeah.
I did that. You know, I did right. You know, I did worthwhile my time, even though it wore you out, man.
Yes.
It wore you out, but you know what, you kicked ass.
Yeah.
You kicked ass, and you're ready for tomorrow. Builds that block to betterize yourself, to take on anything.
Yes. Yeah.
To take on anything. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this, but from here, I went from here to doing this. Now I'm doing housework inside.
Yeah. Yeah, and
trim.
you're like, oh, well, this is easy compared to.
Yeah, now you're so
yeah.
excited. Oh hell, it ain't Bondo.
Yeah.
I should paint that because it's easy. You know, it's something different, but same thing. Detail.
Yeah, attention to detail. It goes back to that. So you pretty much work alone out here?
I work from 9. I work from 10 to 4 because of my seniority level.
Yeah.
And I work alone.
Yeah.
I've
And
always been alone.
you like that?
I do, because I get things done faster.
Yeah.
There's nothing half done. It's all done. Now, the only time I do hire somebody, or when I need help, is to hang something heavy.
Yeah.
Or a door. I'll pick somebody up. Hey, man, help me for today.
Yeah.
You know, or, you know, a crane, if I got a crane. But, you know, our bodies are not made to last forever.
No.
You know, so.
Well, we're getting
pretty
older
soon,
by the
getting
minute.
older by the minute.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, if I ever want to do something, you know, I'd have to hire people and take care of them.
Yeah, and that's a great point too. Is, you know, like you were saying, you have the pride in your job, and somebody wants to hire you again or keep you on. But if you're hiring somebody and you're not treating them right, they're not
never
going to stay there.
They're not gonna be there with you. They're not gonna be. People come and go, population wise.
Yeah.
They're gonna come and go, man. But you're gonna not have somebody that you're gonna call your right hand man.
It's hard to find good help.
Yeah, you're not gonna have that person that you say, well, he's been with me 30 years. You're not gonna find that person.
Ironically, Cody, the other auto tech teacher, eats at Firehouse Subs a lot, and a lot of times I just roll with them just to get out of there for a little bit. But we go to this Firehouse Subs, and the people there are so professional. Like, I don't even want a sub, but when I go there, I want to eat one just because I'm like, the way they act towards the customers, the food has to be good. You can tell everybody that works there has pride in their job.
Good choice. Yes.
Pet that dog like Tony pets it.
Get up, you got AIDS. Get up.
You know, a younger person is looking for something to do, and they're not sure what they want to do. Would you recommend Pain and Body? Why would you recommend it, and why would you not recommend it?
Man, I would recommend anything as long as you put forth the effort and dedication to be there. Be the first one there. You're the helper.
Yeah.
As a kid, you're the helper. You show initiative that, the air hoses are going to be put up every day afternoon.
Yeah.
You show the floor is going to be swept. You listen. You go get your notebook. You write down, well, today we did this.
Yeah.
But when you go over there.
Almost like studying.
Almost like studying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the stuff that they try to teach us in school where you're like, what am I going to use this for?
Right.
And you're
Almost
like
studying.
Yeah.
I mean, you want later on, in life, you can go paint daddy's lawnmower. You can paint the implements. Make them pretty. Why are we painting this? Why?
Yeah.
To preserve everything, to know that, that you're just not going to sit there and let something go to waste, or learn how to do mama's oil, and
Yes. Yeah.
learn how to wash a car. A lot of people don't know how to wash cars.
No.
They wash cars out in the heat. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But I recommend it. I'm not saying me or anything, but a job is a job, man.
Yeah.
Be the best pizza maker or the best
Yes.
pizza delivery person. You don't know if your top manager is going to hire you and give you a store one day, because you show initiative. You show to be there at 8 to 5. You share not to bitch about every complaint. Or
Yes.
If the man gives you $1, so let it be.
And that's hard, I think, especially when you're young, because maybe you are trying your best and you're not seeing the instant reward for your
Right.
your efforts.
When I go to these graduations and these kids are up by the thousands, I feel sorry for them, because you know what? A lot of them don't know.
Yeah.
Will not do nothing but go work for $4.75 until they find a promotion job.
Yeah.
Then they're strict, and the business goes out of business.
Yeah.
Then they lost their job to start over. Then they probably did something by having children that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
They suffer. A lot of times, man. Pretty much, man. You have to know what you really want. And if it doesn't work as planned, because sometimes plans don't work as planned, at least try to do what's righteous.
Yeah.
To not pay the consequences for the future.
So, like in body work, is the push now is for these kids to have certifications and stuff. So, like Auto Tech, they do the ASE kind of certification, stuff like that. So in Pain and Body, is it still ICAR? Is that what it is?
It's still ICAR training.
Yeah.
It is ICAR training. ASC certification is the master certification of recognition.
Yeah.
That one, you have to know. You can challenge the tests, but when you do go get your certification and go to a shop, and if you don't know, they will let you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially the dealerships. The dealerships.
I've got kids doing OSHA right now, and they just want to get through it and get it done, and I'm like, that's cool, but you're doing this with the idea, whether it's true or not, that this is going to help you get into a job. And when you go in and you say like, oh, I have my OSHA 10 or my OSHA 30, they're going to expect that you actually, so I was talking with them Friday about like, hey, you got to understand that if you're not learning anything from this, it's going to show. When they say like, oh, why did you do this? That's against OSHA, and you're like, I didn't know. They're like, well, you said you have your OSHA 30.
Right.
You do know.
Right.
And the kids
I think a lot of those ASC certifications know that you got to have I don't know. Back in the time, you had to have 2-year experience.
You do. You still do. Yeah. So what they do now is the kids can take the test and pass it, and then once they have the hours
2 years.
documented,
They get
they
their
get certification.
They get
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
credentials.
So tell me about like the ICAR certification. Can they go to? How do you get that?
ICAR is, I think ICAR too. You have to go to their schools like TSTC
Okay.
in Waco.
Okay.
You have to go to their schools, and you have to take their classes. And then when the instructors see that your performance is well and your grades are there, kind of like UTI,
Yeah.
then they'll give you that. But
Okay.
you're giving ICAR Gold, ICAR Bronze, and ICAR Silver, and those levels show that you've met those requirements in class.
Yeah.
So if you do go to a body shop and you're tense and you're nervous, you go to Mercedes and you go work for
Yeah.
Mercedes and you scratch a car and
Yeah.
you're the master painter. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
Kind of, sorta. What you gonna do to resolve that problem?
Yeah.
That's where those skills are taught, to troubleshoot,
Yeah.
to not be scared of those scenarios, those situations, because it's not a scenario no more. It's a real situation
Yeah.
where you scratch that bend.
Yeah. Somebody's got to fix it.
Somebody's got to fix it. You better you went to school. You better be right, man.
All right. So we'll go left field here with a quick question. What's your favorite tool or machine?
My favorite tool, the paint gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paint gun makes me
If you could have any paint gun right now, what would you get?
it would probably be a DeVille. It would be a Seda, sir. But man, I just know, man, that it just.
So what are you shooting with right now? What kind of gun?
I have an old Seda, my old Seda
Okay.
9000.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Still
Yeah,
working
it's
perfect.
Still working,
Yeah.
but the needles, I could tell it's getting worn out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
leaking at the tips.
Yeah.
But man, I got it. I got the needles. I got the tips on them pretty big, but sometimes I have to change because I'll drip, man,
Yeah.
and I'll run.
Yeah.
I'll run it, and sometimes I can't pound it too much. I pound it too much, it'll crack on me, man. Especially when you do primer, man. You can't do it too thick, or you'll pay the consequences. It has to breathe. You have to lay stuff just right,
Yeah.
and let it flash. Just lay it down again, man. Because you start a lot of these primers, man, that are sold in O'Reilly's, they're urethane primers, are plastic.
Yeah.
And plastic has to be flexible. And if it's not flexible, it's gonna crack underneath your clear coat.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful, man. What you just don't go by.
What's your favorite music right now? What are you listening to at the moment?
At the moment, I'm back to just whatever is on the radio.
All right.
Just 94.5, kind of burned out playing the same songs over and over.
They really do.
I picked up on this new station, dance station.
Yeah, what is it?
Always I guess it's called Pride Radio on iHeart.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's pretty cool, man. I jam it. There's a lot of old songs.
Yeah.
Back in the club days.
Yeah.
But sometimes, man, I listen to 97.1 on these country stations that I really haven't burned out. I've burned everything else out.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes I just want to be silent, man. Not listen to nothing at all.
It's hard for me to do that. I drive in the mornings, and some mornings I don't listen to anything at all.
Listen to yourself, man.
It's a challenge. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to pay attention, man, because them cars in the morning and daytime, in the day, anytime.
Yeah.
You can't be off La La Land thinking about what you did with this song and that song.
Yeah.
Because, man, don't be scared. Don't be scared of them people, man, that are dead. Be scared of them people that are living, man.
Yeah. Amen.
Them, man. Them folks wild trying to get to that restaurant quick on Friday nights.
Dude, people
wild.
driving 90 down 290 and weaving in and out, and
How fast are they going behind that one in Katy?
who knows, man?
What is that? 359?
No, it's pretty good. 359, 529.
529. I get it confused. 6570.
Well, the problem is there's so many dump trucks taking materials for those neighborhoods that are going 35.
So there are the stoplights there at
Yeah.
Katy Hockley, and
Yeah.
there's another one. Yeah, that kind of stops it too.
Yeah. Tell me about your best day at work, or one of your most memorable days, and then tell me about one of your worst days.
Man, my best days are every day, Joe. Every day is my best day.
That's a good
I
attitude.
mean, it is, man. Every day I get up to to know that I can fight, get this done, and move on to the next thing. Those are my best days. And my worst days, man, I've had some worst days, and just so many I've had, but
Yeah.
I've had better days and worse days, and I don't even care.
Yeah.
That replaces that worst
yeah.
day.
It more
The
than
good
balances
days,
it
the
out.
good days, just man, I've had out of a whole month, 30 in the calendar, 31 because of October and stuff. I might have had one bad day, but I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
I had 30 more good ones.
You almost have to have a bad day every once in a while
You do have
to
to have a bad day.
wake you up and
Yeah. Or you don't have no money for gas.
Yeah.
Or the damn tire fell apart.
Yeah.
You got to go discount and ride on a donut, and then you got your schedules with that and that. But Joel, I try to prepare myself every day in the mornings for my prep work for the next day or a week ahead in advance. You work on so many cars. After I leave here, I'm already back in my place.
Yeah.
Trying to challenge for tomorrow, grabbing stuff as I go. I need this to bolt. I need that.
Yeah.
I used to keep a notebook, and I got away from keeping a notebook from what I need to do, and that's all. I got 3 big old thick notebooks full of notes.
I do these lists. I'm gonna take a picture real quick. But I type lists out and
See, you're a typer, man. I never got to type in school too good. Never was a conqueror at that.
Some-
Never had time to take Miss Fry's class and type like I should.
Sometimes I go in and I got to tell myself that list isn't so important, and I'll delete the whole list. To start over,
Yeah.
like a reminder to myself. But that list, people are like, "Oh, well, you didn't do everything." I'm like, "Yeah, but I did 70% more than if I didn't have
If
the
you didn't
list."
have it, that's right.
Yeah.
At least you feel good that you did. You beyond did what you could do. And then with Joe, there comes a time when everything's said and done, and you're not gonna have a perfect life, but you're gonna, have everything complete, and you're gonna be like, man, I still have this at the house.
Yeah.
Even though school's done, this is done, all is turned in, everything going smooth, but you go home, man, you got another list.
Yeah.
You got another list of
I
what
did.
to
I got
do.
lists at home of stuff I need to fix. I need to mow the lawn. I need to fix something that broke.
And it's not easy, but man, sometimes I was always a wise man once told me, he goes, get after it, man, because you're not gonna catch up. You'll catch up, but you're not gonna catch up. But it's better to do it. It's better to do it now.
Yeah. It starts piling up.
It starts piling up, yeah, and to the point of no return.
All right, you could buy one tool or machine right now. Cost is no issue. What would you buy?
I'm not much of a mechanic.
Any kind of a
mechanic.
What kind of?
But I'm that Snap-on data analyzer, the computer.
Oh yeah.
About 8-9 Gs or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I get that just to have it. Just when people come up to me, plug it in.
Yeah.
And quit guessing.
Yeah, because I
Sometimes
remember you had a code on the Ford.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
I would get that because all this other stuff, you don't need that for this.
Yeah.
You don't. I would get that. I would get that because, man, you could scan and then go to the next mechanic and see if he's true and accurate.
And that's funny you say that because with Briseño, where he was telling me this week about one of the teachers came in and she had a misfire on her Corolla and she limped it to a shop nearby her house, and they charged her $1,100 to change the 4 coils out. And so the mechanic did a good job diagnosing it because he put the scan tool on it. It said number 3 cylinder, and then he swapped that coil and it went to number 2. So he's like, all right, I know that coil is bad.
Right.
Which took him 10 minutes.
Right.
And then he ordered the other pieces and did that, and she was like, oh, did I pay too much? And he pulled it up on all data, and he was like, yeah, if you would have went to the dealership, they should have only charged you this much.
Yeah.
But having that tool would allow you to know
with the advanced programs,
yeah.
up-to-date programs.
Yeah. And then
I take sometimes I got a customer now. I got his truck. It needs a new PC computer. It needs a new computer. It's a 94 Dodge. I'm like, I'll take it. Sometimes I'll take these crazy ass mechanic jobs, man.
Yeah.
Ticking and or misfiring. I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I'll sub them out. I'll go get my people to help me, and here I look like a hero. Man, I ain't trying to do no mechanic work, but it's fun, man, to learn everything and not be scared. keeps you balanced out, man, a little bit.
Well, in that it's like you don't want to be scared of it, but you want to be scared a little bit because you know that you're out of your comfort level, and that
Yeah.
means that you're about to learn
I'm
something.
about to learn something. Like right now, I'm waiting. Hopefully, they'll be finished with it soon. You know, he's supposed to diagnose it for me, but man, I guess he's just busy. But it's just neat to know. You know,
Yeah.
Need to know why it's. I had a Dodge like that many years ago. It just didn't run.
Yeah.
It needed spark plugs.
Yeah.
They were all bad. I took it to a mechanic shop, and I was like, he told me I couldn't drive it to AutoZone and get another,
Yeah.
you know, or somebody scan it. I was like, all right, then what ain't gonna hurt me to put them in? And the motor is so small.
Yeah.
You can crawl in there and do it. And they were already pre-gapped, and I said, well, you know what? With spark plugs comes wires. And I was like, man, I don't know. So I was like, I don't care, man. I'm just gonna put them in there, man. Should crank right up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spark plugs, man. So, and I didn't buy no expensive ones. I bought them cheap
Yeah.
ones. Probably Autolite, probably what they were.
Yeah. All right, so I've got a timer set for 60 seconds, and we're gonna do speed questions. Are you ready?
All right.
All right, here we go. Beer or whiskey?
Beer.
What kind?
Bud Light.
All right, ketchup or mustard?
Ketchup.
What kind?
Heinz.
Man, Whataburger spicy. Country or rock?
Rock.
Who?
I don't know. Everybody.
All right, car or truck?
Truck.
I know, man. It's
The
nice
transport.
Yeah, it's nice.
To
You
throw
gotta
shit
have a
behind there.
you gotta have a truck. Cash or credit?
Cash.
Now I don't know if you're gonna respond to either of these. Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Horror or comedy?
Comedy.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke. RC Cola.
Okay. Gas or diesel?
Gas.
RoboCop or Terminator?
RoboCop.
All right, that's 6 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, man, I think that wraps us about up. Anything else you want to tell people?
Man, I just know, man. Do everything for your best of your heart, man. Do everything. Don't waste your days, man. Life is precious.
Dude, that youth
Don't
goes
waste your
by
days,
fast.
Man. You know, you try to do something, man. You know, with that sign he used to say, be someone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
don't do it for the public to know that you're going to be the next
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid or
Yeah.
whatever. But you know, do
Well,
it for
and here's the thing. Does
yourself.
anybody know who wrote that? Like, I don't know who wrote it. I just know the message is
The
important.
gangstars.
Yeah, but you don't need to be known. You just need to do the best you can.
Best you can.
Yeah, worry about all that other
Do the
stuff
best
later.
you can, man, because you know it's gonna be. We all have expiration dates.
We do, and we don't know when they are.
That's right. We all have expiration dates, man. And once you have everything under control, man, you live life chilled, man. That you can do this, go there. You ain't gonna have all the money in the world, man, but
Yeah,
at least you put your signature on it.
yeah.
At least you put your signature on it.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps us up. Anything else?
Man, that's it, man. We can go on for days in that museum.
I know. Yeah.
We can go talk about it, man, all day long. We could dissect something, man, and we'll be here for 4 or 5 hours. We'll be here for a whole day.
Yeah. There's a lot of history
A lot of
there.
history, a lot of books. There's a lot of stuff that's not even put up yet.
Is this like if somebody wanted to see this, is this open to the
It's
public?
open to the public. If you call,
Okay.
so that they're here, they live beside it. But if you call, and let them know that you're coming.
Okay.
They can open the doors for you, kids or whatever. The best of kids, not no badass kids.
Yeah.
Pocket shit.
Tearing shit up.
Pocket stuff up, but yeah, they love for the kids to come out, and kids that are interested in
Yeah.
history and
Yeah.
a good history class.
Yeah.
People don't know Benjamin Franklin did this.
Yeah.
They don't know about the bucket brigades, and they don't know about none of this. Where and
Yeah.
how.
No, it was educational for me.
It's educational, but man, anybody interested in coming, get with you, get with me, man. And
Yeah.
out here on a Saturday and a weekend, pretty much Saturdays, man. We don't have time during the week ourselves, but
Yeah.
if you can get away from this, bringing a couple of good kids with you, man, to know that this exists,
Yeah.
to know that it's just not about seeing cars and cars and cars and cars. You got history with it.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's not about 1928, no, man. You got history behind it, and we went through that history real fast.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
We could be there days,
Yeah. So
months.
man, if if you could get somebody, man, you know, I tried getting Jakey to come through here. He came through here, but you know, that was a while back. You know, now it's growing. It's growing.
Yeah.
Yearly, we're trying to add on. He's trying to add on to it.
Yeah.
So if I boogie myself to make more, get more, like the Jeep Willis, you know, there's history behind that forestry.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bear.
Yeah.
You know, there's history behind that. A lot of history that people have done lost and forgotten, and sometimes where we came from.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a story of us.
Story of us, and a lot of men rode on these apparatuses.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of men, you know,
People
from
were.
that war hero, that pilot.
Yeah.
You know, his legacy, that was Daddy's legacy, not to be lost. And to think, man, I found that script real. It was barely you could see it.
Yeah.
And I dug into it, and I called the mayor of Waco, and I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I am the researcher of everything here.
Yeah.
That's my job. You know, and it goes with it. It's an eater.
Yes. Yeah.
We all want answers.
Well, and it makes it that much more personal
Right.
to know that, like you said, it's not just a car. What's the history on
You know,
that?
we all as humans, we look for answers.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much. That sometimes we deprive of them, man. But nah, man, you gotta have to know Fredericksburg, to know Thrall, Abbeville. Where is Abbeville? Where is Thrall? Why did Thrall give that up?
Yeah.
Why did that milkman end up with it?
Yeah.
Why did Waco not want to continue? People bought that. People's tax money bought these units.
Yeah.
You know, why did they just throw them away? You know, you can't throw something away like that.
Yeah.
That was bought by people's tax money, and to think that, you know, some people don't even care.
Yeah.
But simple as that. Any more questions for me, Mr. Yeltsin?
No, sir. I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Sweet.